For today's video, I had a plan to make the last Yeoman I needed for my Era Rangers warband. I had the bits already picked out and cleaned. It should have been an easy process of throwing him together and calling it a day. This Yeoman is armed with a pistol and a carnyx, so I needed to take this arm from the World War I Germans kit and stick on this pistol from the British Expeditionary Force kit. Easy! And only 2 arms destroyed in the process. There is no way that number could possibly go any higher than that. But now for something a little harder. I needed to make a carnyx. For those who don't know what a carnyx is, it's an Irish war horn. They are ridiculously long and have the head of a monster or beast on the end. Luckily for me, the Goth Warriors kit comes with a dragon banner thing. I removed the nub, intended to attach to the banner pole, and chopped off the head. I was hoping to be able to use more of the banner, but it wasn't going to work, so into the bits box you go. As for how my Yeoman was going to be holding his impractical instrument, the Wargame Atlantic's German MG08 kit comes with a lot of open hands. So I cut some thin plastic tube to length and prepared some wire for pinning. I then drilled a hole in the dragon's neck, so the terrifying howling could better project across the battlefield, and then pinned it in place, leaving a little bit of gap so I could adjust the positioning. For the other end, I curved some wire, dunked it in superglue, and shoved it up the other end of the plastic rod, trimming it down to a still impractical size. The model was almost done. I had his pistol, and his instrument was well on the way. The plan was for him to be holding the carnyx in his open hand, but it seemed too dull. I needed him playing the warhorn, not just casually holding it by his side. And so we find ourselves here, watching sped up footage of me checking multiple arms, trying to find a pair that would work. I finally settled on a rifle arm from the British Expeditionary Force kit, and so another arm was hacked into, never again to be used for its intended purpose. And this arm came with an attached gun stock that I proceeded to cut and file away. But I still needed a hand, so I turned back to the hand that was originally meant to be holding the carnyx, and it became the 4th hobby martyr. But I felt I should check the positioning of the head before I glued it in place, and the arms did not leave enough room for the head. At this point, I was more than a little tempted to go back to my original plan. I still had the gun, and fixing the left hand wouldn't be impossible. But no, I'd come too far, there was no going back. I found this hand once again in the German MG08 kit, and my hopes were rekindled. Now the question was, do I destroy the shovel arm or the anti-tank grenade arm? The shovel arm was chosen to be the 5th sacrifice, with this open hand, also from the MG kit, becoming the 6th. I tried to keep the shovel hand in good condition, so it could live on in my bits box. The open hand was then glued to the shovel wielding arm, and I tested to see if they would fit. And to my amazement, everything was looking like it fit together. However, I wasn't quite happy with the hand in front of the mouth. I wanted it to be turned just a little bit, so I chopped, sending the hand flying off into the void. Nope, wait, I found it. No destroyed arms this time. With the hand in place, I cleaned up my workstation and prepared to work on the carnyx itself. I mixed up some milliput, I filled the gaps, made a decorative spine, and bulked up the mouthpiece of the carnyx. I gave the yeoman his pistol, using a skewer and my fingers to nudge it into place. I then waited for the milliput to dry. And so I woke up early, intending to finish the model, smash out this video, and only upload a few hours late. But I hated how fat the carnyx looked. Really, really hated it. If I've made something, I can simply make it again. And so I did. This time with a far thinner piece of plastic rod. The only issue now was the open hand was too open. Probably having something to do with me filing it earlier. So I started scraping a little groove into the hand. The intention was to allow the hand to fold closed, bend but not break. Using a small drop of plastic cement, I stuck the carnyx to the yeoman's thumb. I then used the blade to push the hand closed, hoping it would hold long enough for the plastic to melt together. The last step was to use a skewer to lather superglue over the mouthpiece of the carnyx, fusing the yeoman's hand and mouth to it. And I was finally done. This yeoman and his very long trumpet were ready for the trenches. I cannot wait to play a game with this guy, with the head of the carnyx just sticking out over the parapet. So with this yeoman finished, all I need to do now is base and paint my warband. Would you be interested in seeing that on the channel? Should I do more Trench Crusade warbands? I have other warband lists, many already in some degree of kit bash purgatory. Maybe one of them should finally receive some love. 'Cause why not?